Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm talking with Stefan Stojkovic, who is our latest Lean Change Facilitator. So welcome, Stefan.
Thank you for having me here.
Excellent. So you just started your facilitation journey with us in January of this year. So what was the thing that inspired you to become a facilitator?
Yeah, that's really good question. I mean, in general, I think we are all witnessing the situation which happens in a lot of companies, that we are actually doing changes on wrong ways or doing wrong changes, and then we are somehow unhappy about the changes, but the changes another problem. And I was wondering why that is happening. Yeah, and since, let's say, world is, let's say, thrives on collaboration, and changes are in most companies is done in a way that management decides what they want to change. Yeah, then they ask change manager, hey, can you create a plan for this? And then they just present that plan to the team, which will be impacted by that change and probably implemented in the end. Yeah, and then we are like struggling to understand why changes are done poorly, or we have so-called resistance in change management. Yeah, and I saw that when we are doing change like that, no one actually understands why they are doing some changes. And a lot of times people in discussions in this, let's say, coffee breaks or something like that, they discuss with their colleagues and they're like, speaking about some new integrations we are doing, we don't care about it, we don't believe that company will benefit from it. Yeah, but they're still doing it. Yeah, and there no one is challenging if that is really needed, because no one asked them anything, so they're like, we are just doing our job and so on. And I was like, if we will continue to live in the world that everyone says this nasty sentence, if you ask me, yeah, we are just doing our job, then it's like, you're not heading to the right place. Yeah, and I had really, let's say, difficult, let's say, hard time to change this in big hierarchical structured companies, since I was missing some kind of the guiding power, let's say, and some global experience from change agents who went through something similar as I. And the lean change was the answer. Yeah, because it kind of connects this global knowledge and provide these approaches which could help changes unstuck and start doing something more meaningful. And actually, the one part in one sentence which was really appealing for me and was something that definitely triggered me to say, yeah, this is something I need. Once I read, I think it was on the web page, what would happen if we did change with people and not add them? Yeah, and that was like, yeah. I need to start and engage in this community. Definitely, this was like the trigger that said to me, "Yeah, this is definitely something I want."
Cool. Yeah, and I know you've been involved in the Agile community for a long time. It seems to fit really well because I came from a similar place. Like I got started in Agile in the early 2000s and very quickly realized a lot of this Agile transformation stuff or trying to get teams to work differently really didn't have a whole lot to do with Agile. It had more to do with change, and started thinking around like, what if we actually use these values and principles to help organizations change instead of doing what you described, which is, the leader thinks this thing up and they drop it into the organization. So it seems like a, pretty natural fit for your career. So how did do you want to give us a little overview of where did you start out in software, and then how did it evolve into getting into change work?
Yeah. So actually, I graduated mechanical engineering and IT. So how you apply IT in mechanical engineering? Basically, that was the module I finished. And after some time, I mean, immediately after I graduated, I applied to an automotive company to become a 3D modeling engineer, or however they call it today. And because this company was establishing a new production facility in my country, and it was a global company. And I was like, yeah, this is something I would like to apply. Is I was really, let's say, passionate about 3D modeling, so I would like, yeah, let's give it a chance. And after a few rounds of interviews, like 57th round or something like that, I do not remember, but in that time we had a lot of rounds. I think there was 1 or 2 days travel to Poland to visit some of their facilities that already operates. And then I saw production. They gave me a task to design some tool based on what I saw. And then actually they kind of give to me, let's say task, finish that, and then we will have some discussion how we did it and so on. And I was, let's say, on that interview later on. And they started like, your assignment was good, but, and then I was like, okay, again, this but sentence, that means that I traveled to the Poland and they will say no to me. What the effort I made for nothing. But actually they were telling me, we think you will be better for different position, yeah? And it's a program manager position. And I was thinking about in my head, what's the program manager? Because I knew about project manager, yeah, and we know about that, but program manager. So I was like, will I install programs and update Windows or on people's computer? What I will do? I didn't want to ask what it is. I had nothing to lose, so I just accepted the offer. Then later on, I realized that actually program manager is actually, let's say, coordinating several projects which are connected because of something, yeah. And yeah, that was actually my first job in automotive industry, nowhere in IT, nothing. And I was actually 7 years in automotive. And then after that, I started my startup with my friend related to the, let's say, learning, let's say, kids education in IT. We were producing some games, and during producing games for kids, they were learning how to do it, how to program, and so on. And that was my interest in IT world. Actually, we are startup. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. So would you call yourself a car guy then, since you started in automotive? Or
Not
was it just
anymore.
you just loved the work?
Not anymore. Not anymore. I mean, I was really passionate about cars, and even now, from time to time. But now, car became for me, let's say, just something I need to travel from point A to point B, and that's it. Because I don't really have time anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, me and my son were both we're car nuts, and now that I'm 50, he keeps saying, "Well, you're old now. You need to get the Corvette convertible like all the other
It's time.
gray-haired
Yeah,
people, and you can drive around town."
exactly, exactly.
So, you just finished your first workshop the end of March. So, how was that experience? What did you how did the course go overall? What did you learn from it?
Yeah. I actually tried to prepare myself really good, and I was like, let's say, investigating how other people are doing that, what they are presenting, and so on. And then in one moment, I was say, let's just do it my way. Yeah, let's just start from the beginning and give it a flow. So actually, I invested a lot of time in preparing what if scenarios. Yeah, so I wanted to give really the people the most value they can get from this. And I was like, if they want more practice, I'll prepare something. Yeah, if they want to hear more about methodology, I mean about general things and about some theory, I will give them, and so on. And workshop was amazing. We had like I had 4 people, so not a big group, but yeah, we went through this journey, and it was really amazing. I got all tens, even I was like facilitating this first time, and they did most of the job because I just give them guidance, and that's the power I think of these workshops, that they are, let's say, really passionate, because at the end they get something to work with in their companies, and a lot of practices they did. We use some use cases from their real day work, and we actually use one use case from one of the participants who had really big struggle. We voted all for this. We said through our workshop, this will be something we will use for the use case. and we did a lot of job for that participant, and yeah, she was also really enjoying what we accomplished at the end. So it was really great experience for me doing first time something like Lean Change workshop. Not first time I'm doing workshop, but it was a different style for me, definitely, because I was less talking, more, let's say, guiding and facilitating, and let's say moderating and doing this kind of things. Yeah, but yeah.
Oh, that's good. And it was in person too, right? Or was it
Yeah, this was online.
online? Okay. 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 Um, yeah, the seems like most are still doing remote stuff. It's just the cost makes it so much easier to not have to worry about a space and food and all of this kind of stuff. So many of them are still happening remote. So what was your biggest takeaway, and how would that help you um make a shift in your next workshop? So what was the learning that you took away about how you facilitated it or how it worked out, and what might you change for the next one?
Yeah, I learned that maybe you do not need that much preparation. You need to prepare your first session really good, and then based on the feedback, adjust the next one and so on. Because I realized that people want to, let's say, be more focused on experimentation part, so I give them more space there. Yeah, and I, let's say, really said to them, we do a lean coffee thingy. Yeah, let's say this second part of lean coffee thingy. We want to continue, all of us. Good. Let's continue with this exercise, knowing that maybe we'll skip some other in the next sessions, and that was totally fine. And also one really great takeaway is that people understand those concepts really good, but it was, for them, it was not so connected, and kind of they didn't have a big picture. So actually, after third or fourth session, it, let's say, this, let's say, Lego or puzzle pieces started to come together. Yeah, and that was something that one of the participants told me in person. I had a chat with him afterwards. He was like, it was like 3 days. Okay, a lot of things, a lot of stuff, but how they're connected. And then after 4 sessions, he was like, "Oh my God, everything makes perfect sense. I know from where I want to start to begin with. I know what I could try and what to propose to the team to try. I know where I can find some stuff in case I'm stuck." Because in one moment in the session, I said, "Okay, let's do what you will actually do in your day-to-day work. You're stuck. Go to the leanchange.org website. Find this stance, art, and so on. Find this stuff. Try to put some keywords there. If you are stuck with experimentation, type experiment. Yeah. Try to find stuff there." And they were like, "Let's try this." And actually, it was really good that during the session they were exploring the website as well in parallel. So it was really great.
Oh, very cool. And I guess last question before we get into the wrap up. What's your favorite part of the course? Like, what was the favorite chunk that you liked facilitating?
Mine was a hack part. So hacking part is, let's say, it's part of this experimentation and so on. But hacking part is something that blows people minds. I mean, they're like, they do it. Sometimes they even didn't think about it. And then when I give them some examples how I did it, and I actually wrote on LinkedIn some posts about that, it was kind of the hack, but it can go to the hack field. They're like, "Okay, this is not that hard to be done. We just do not thinking about that because our brain is not set in that way, that sometimes we need to hack stuff, because we all times think we need to have proper solutions in proper moment, but uh, then we realize that sometimes uncertainty is that big that you need actually just put stuff on the surface and do something so things reveal themselves, and then based on that you can act. Yeah, so that is my favorite part. And I mean, I'll prepare only one lecture just about that. I think it's a thing you can do one big session of 2 or 3 hours just about hacking stuff and how you can do it and some good examples from practice and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to say that that section of the course is like teaching people how to kick the hornet's nest sometimes. And
Exactly.
the thing I like about that too with the public courses is when you start to work on problems and you get people talking about hacks and how to be more disruptive, it's so much easier when you're not part of that organization. So you really get some awesome, crazy ideas. And then the person who's in that reality, it might sound nuts to them at first, but then they're like, you know what? I could maybe dial this back a little bit, but that's actually not a bad idea. And it just, I, that section for me too, the energy just goes way up from everybody because they just get to blast out super creative ideas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So how can people find out more about you? I know you're on TikTok and Instagram and all over LinkedIn and stuff, and we'll put these links in the description of the video too. But how can people find out more about you and what else you've got coming up?
Yeah, I'm active on LinkedIn mostly. Yeah, so there's, let's say, first place you can find me. You can find me on also on futurist.coach. So it's my webpage, TikTok, Instagram, also futurist.coach. You right there and you'll find me. Also I'm doing some, let's say, I'll be guest in different conferences this year. So I was like planning to go, like, let's say, on 3 or 4, but it seems that more opportunities are coming up. So we'll see. Uh, yeah, I will definitely facilitate another, or I think even once per month, Lean Change workshop, probably Lean Change agent for the start, and then next part of the year something else. But yeah, I will speak about experimentation mostly on the conferences. First one will be in May, Agile Bosnia. It's here in Balkan, so it will be easy for me to travel there. Next one will be all online Scrum Master Summit in June. Uh, then probably we will have regional Scrum gathering here in Belgrade. Again, we'll discuss. I will discuss there a lot about navigating change through experimentation. And Agile Lean Ireland. This is in October, so I will travel there as well. Hopefully, everything will work fine with my visa. So that's that's something that it's just needs to be confirmed. But probably, yeah, hopefully that's it. Maybe 1 or 2 more, but let's see. Let's see.
So you got a busy year ahead of you.
Busier,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Right on. Awesome. So thanks so much for taking the time to chat today. Best of luck in those future sessions. And any final comments that you wanted to wrap up with or piece of advice when it comes to approaching change in your organization?
Yeah, for the change agents, I mean, I will use my approach here, which is, let's say, something like my signature. I call it CLAN approach. It means powerful in my language, and it's actually acronym for simple. So strive to simplify where is possible and use solutions because they give good outcomes and not just because they are trendy. Yeah, because really we do not need complicated stuff in already complex world. Intelligent, use your minds, talents, and energy on things that are valuable and don't waste it on the things which are not in alignment with your personal principles or team or organizational principles, let's say. Lazy, and this part people are surprised, but yeah, I say always be involved when and where is really needed and automate whenever is possible or make sense. Yeah. Agile, be adaptive but plan, be fast but ask for feedback. Yeah. And nurturing, this is about the people, so protect, care, and provide opportunities for the people to share their thoughts, concerns in safe and supportive environment. Yeah. And I think that's a Sealand approach.
Fantastic. All right. Thanks very much for joining and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Jason, for having me. Bye bye.